Hello and welcome back to Watercolors Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne and we are here, notes, to make some more postcards and send them out across the COVID or any miles. I realized last night, I think, that even though I'm making these postcards in the time of the pandemic in December of 2020, this is really fun to do at any point in one's life. You can use them for birthday party invitations when we get to have birthday parties together again. We can use them just for saying I love you to people across the country or across the world. We don't really need the excuse of a pandemic to be able to make art. But as long as there is a pandemic and there is this great social distancing, why not make some art about that? So here we are, making postcards. Please, dear viewers, like this video down there. Thumbs up if you like it. Comment, let me know how things are going. Let me know if you have any questions about stuff that I say and describe and teach you. Subscribe so you can get the rest of this series kind of delivered on your YouTube page. And please do share this with somebody and you can have a lovely postcard exchange with each other, which will be totally fun. So today we are making some watercolor postcards. We'll save that one for later. Check this one out. Doesn't this kind of look like a person? Like there's their hand, there's their head, their body is sort of dressed in a robe or a gown or something. And this is maybe the edge of a cave, and there's some light coming in. And this one, I just love this sort of burst of color coming. This one, I thought if I held it like this could be maybe the essence of a person or a spirit. And this is the light coming around them. These are so cool and they're so much fun to make. This one I think I like in this direction. I'm not really sure, but I really love this and how that worked out, how the orange or red paint sort of left this little island of yellow underneath. It's totally fun to play with this. So we are going to make watercolor cards, and you will need a big paintbrush, a little paintbrush, some lovely sticky watercolors. What else will you need? Oh, you will need some water. And you will need a piece of watercolor paper. This is Canson, that's the name of the company, watercolor paper, and it's 15 inches wide by 11 inches tall. And from this, I think the most 4x6 cards you can get is about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you'll see later on in the video, I'll show you about how to maybe get, the best framing for these postcards. Something that sort of interests you, that tells maybe part of a story. So we'll go there. All right, so first thing, take your wide paintbrush and get some water on it. And just get your whole page wet. Pretty sure you can't see this in the video, but if I hold my head to the side, the light kind of shines and I can tell where the water is and is not. So once we get that all wet, then, and I'm really irreverent with my watercolors. I let them be a mess. I hope I'm not offending. And I just put some water in these. I should have done that a minute ago. Yeah, so now we get to stir up some color with the brush. Never quite sure what all these colors are, but let's try. Look what happens. Isn't this totally, supremely cool? Lots of paint on the brush. So I'm mixing colors here. Yeah, really, I think there are rules about this. You're not supposed to be quite so messy. So it would be fine to keep these lines as a part of the paper. So you'll see that after a while, the paint is kind of whooshing out less here than it did on the first one when there was still lots of water on the paper. So we are beginning to dry up. Do you see? Yes, you can see this right here. We've got some little white dots. These are places where I didn't see that there wasn't any water. And there's another one down there. I can't tell if you can see that right there. It's fine, and it just okay. So now I'm getting almost solid lines. So let me show you what happens next. Excuse me, I forgot to bring this over. This is a little water bottle, mister. You can get them at, I don't know, like big box stores and kinds of places like that. So if we mist, can you see what's happening? I wonder if I go close. Oh no, I'm so sorry. There we go. See how we get these little white spots? I'm going to take you back out again. I don't know. This is all an experiment for me. My mom was a great watercolor painter. She loved it. She did it often. think she had a better sense of what watercolor does. So we can let the watercolor drip back and forth. Those look like mountains or something. Oh my god, this is so much fun. Right now there's all the blue at the other edge. And of course, we can go back in So yes, we get to play. I'm painting, you can't really see this, the camera's too close, but I'm painting, let's see if I can move this up a bit. Painting some extra color around the edges because when we start cutting this up, we're going to want color in every part of the on every part of the card. So we need to let this dry. I usually let these dry like overnight or something, you know, for a while. Whoops. Kicking things. But let me show you. These are some cards that are some watercolor papers that were already done. This one is just astounding to me. Look at all these little islands of, you know, where the paint water kind of flowed and where it stopped. This is so exciting. And clearly this little white spot here, there are a couple of them there. There's one right here. Look at this. Delish. So, look. I made a smudge. Yeah, so we get to see how this was a drip. Do you see this? So the trick to this part is to use, I'm getting blue water over everything. Okay, I think that's it. The trick is to use colors that are close to each other, analogous colors on the color wheel. Oh, I meant to make you a color wheel, but you know, there's red, blue, yellow, and then between red and yellow there's orange, between red and blue there's purple. If you mix blue and yellow you get green. So you want colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. So red, orange, and yellow are kind of all in one part of the color wheel, which means when they blend, they're gonna make clearer colors than if you know, like tried to blend yellow and purple, you'd end up with sort of a mud color, a brownishy color, which could be delightful. check this out. All this little speckly stuff. I'm going to definitely want to keep that in a card. Now, how do you do that? How do you see? And then I just wanted to show you quickly. There's one done in a couple of different greens. But how do you make a choice about where you want, you know, a card worth of color to be? And how do you get the most out of your colored paper? Well, this is the other part of today's lesson. You make a frame. Now, I made this frame out of an extra piece of watercolor paper. I think you can see the pencil lines here. I measured out 6 inches by 4 inches, so a rectangle. And I just took the ruler and sort of randomly drew it in the middle of the page. Then also, to make this a little stiffer, I'm hoping you can see that I put packing tape all around the edges, and I butted it right up to the opening here. That just helps give a little firmness and sturdiness. And then, like this I liked a lot, and I wanted to make a postcard that had this in it. I've already done this, but I sort of went around the card and found the painting and found decorations that I would like to really have flourish on a card. And I got 5 cards out of this, so, and there's no trick to that. You just have to sort of experiment with the frame on the colored part and say, oh, that would make a cool card, and try to somehow flip it over. You can also draw pencil lines and then erase them later. I was not really trusting my ability to erase properly, and I didn't want to mess up the color on the front of the card with what an eraser, I don't know if an eraser, so look. Oh, if you hold it that way, doesn't it look like you know, sort of a flower with the lower petals and then the spray of the petals on top? See? Watercolor does this cool thing. Okay, let me get rid of some things so you can really see these. How do I like this? Maybe I like that position best. When I am done cutting these out, we made a bunch of, maybe I like that one in that position. We made in the last video a bunch of postcard backers. So even though this is watercolor paper and it's pretty sturdy, it's way stronger than the cardstock I have. But I think I like that. Ooh, that's pretty good too. I'm going to back all of these with my backers. I mean, I could draw individually where to put the address and all that, but and save all these little bits, because we could use these for collage later on postcards, certainly, or also something cool in your art journal, or What did I decide? That's kind of cool. I don't know, there's something about that position that delights me. Let's do this. Something like that. So I will put backers on these, and then you can continue to decorate as long as things are flat. So we could draw. I drew a star, bright, star, light on this, and I put a backer on it. So you can draw on it. You can glue stickers, or, well, blue on blue wouldn't work, but you know, you could put something else on. I don't know if you've ever played with lottery cards. This is a Mexican game. So we could just, the crown, you know, we could just glue that on, just like that. I have torn apart several lottery games, and I love these little cards. Making art is, for me, way more fun than playing games. But there you go. So please have lots of fun making watercolors and turning your fingers different colors. I wish you many blessings. I wish you all, you know what, we're making, I am making these videos right around the winter solstice. And one of the things that happens for me in the Northern Hemisphere is I get a lot more nighttime. And it seems to me that this is the dream time. This is time for stories and writing and reading and memories of the year past. And so, yeah, it's just a story time. So my blessing for you is that you will, I hope, be able to have some time with your stories of this year. And this is something that's sometimes hard for me, but I'm practicing being better at this. May you have lots of compassion for yourself, and see the beauty and the value and worth of who you are on this planet at this time. Many blessings to you, and have a very colorful day. I will see you next time with another art making playtime. Bye.